Hello, welcome back to Simple English Hub. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most important skills in learning English, speaking confidently. Many English learners struggle with confidence when it comes to speaking. They feel nervous, fear making mistakes, or worry about what others will think. But here's the truth. Confidence in English is not about being perfect. It's about being comfortable while communicating. Even native speakers make mistakes, but they don't let those mistakes stop them from speaking. Think about a baby learning to walk. The baby doesn't wait until they are sure they can walk perfectly before taking the first step. They try, they fall, they get up, and they keep going until one day they can walk without thinking. Learning to speak English confidently works the same way. The more you try, the better you become. You don't need to wait until you are fluent to start speaking. You become fluent by speaking. In today's lesson, I will share powerful strategies, interesting stories, and practical tips that will help you gain confidence in speaking English. By the end of this video, I am sure you will feel more motivated and ready to start speaking without fear. So, let's begin. One of the biggest mistakes English learners make is thinking that confidence comes from knowing perfect grammar or having a large vocabulary. But confidence comes from practice and exposure. Have you ever noticed that some people who don't know many words still speak fluently? That's because they focus on communication, not perfection. The first step to gaining confidence is to speak more often, even if you make mistakes. Imagine you have two students. One spends all their time reading grammar books, but never speaks, and the other practices speaking every day, even with mistakes. Who do you think will become confident faster? Of course, the one who speaks more. Let me tell you a story about Michael, a university student who always avoided speaking English. He was afraid of making mistakes and felt embarrassed whenever he had to talk in class. His teacher noticed this and gave him a simple challenge to speak at least 5 sentences in English every day. Michael started small by talking to himself in front of the mirror. Then, he began speaking with his friends, even though he wasn't perfect. After a few months, something amazing happened. His confidence grew, and he no longer feared speaking in class. This story teaches us a very important lesson, which is confidence is built through action, not waiting. If you want to speak confidently, you need to start speaking today, even if it's just a little. Another important step to speaking confidently is thinking in English instead of translating from your native language. Many learners struggle because they first think in their own language, translate it into English in their mind, and then speak. This process takes time and makes them feel nervous. The best way to speak naturally and fluently is to train your brain to think directly in English. A simple way to do this is to describe what you see around you in English. If you are in your room, say, "I see a table. The table is brown. There is a cup on the table." This simple habit will help your brain process English faster and make speaking feel more natural. Another reason people lack confidence is the fear of making mistakes. But remember this, mistakes are proof that you are learning. No one speaks a new language perfectly from the beginning. Even native speakers make mistakes, but they don't let those mistakes stop them from speaking. Let me share a story about Sophia, a woman from Spain who moved to the UK. At first, she was afraid to speak because she thought people would laugh at her accent. One day, an old man in a grocery store told her, "Your English is better than my Spanish." That simple comment changed her perspective. She realized that people appreciate effort more than perfection. From that day on, she started speaking freely, and within a year, she became fluent and confident. The lesson here is simple. People will not judge you for making mistakes. They will appreciate your effort to communicate. Another great way to build confidence is to surround yourself with English as much as possible. The more English you hear and use, the more natural it becomes. There are many fun ways to do this. Watch English movies, listen to English podcasts, read English books, and practice speaking with friends or online communities. A great example is David, a businessman from China, who needed English for his job. Instead of just studying grammar, he started watching English YouTube videos, reading English news articles, and practicing with AI chatbots. Within 6 months, his English improved dramatically, and he felt much more confident in meetings. This proves that the more English you hear, the more comfortable you become with the language. Another important tip is to use simple words and speak slowly. Many learners think that speaking English well means using big, complicated words. But even native speakers use simple, clear words in daily conversations. Instead of trying to sound advanced, focus on speaking clearly and confidently. Also, speaking too fast can make you feel nervous and lead to mistakes. Try slowing down your speech. You will feel more in control and people will understand you better. Finally, the best way to gain confidence is to practice speaking every day. You don't need a native speaker to practice with. You can start by speaking to yourself. Stand in front of a mirror and have a conversation in English. Talk about your day, your feelings, or your plans. Another great method is to record yourself speaking. Listen to your recording, notice what you can improve, and try again. Soon, she became comfortable speaking, and when she finally spoke to a native speaker, she felt confident and fluent. Speaking English confidently is not about being perfect. It's about being brave. Mistakes are a natural part of learning, and every time you speak, you improve. Remember these key lessons. Start speaking today. Don't wait for perfection. Think in English to speak more naturally. Don't fear mistakes, they help you learn. Surround yourself with English every day. Use simple words and speak slowly. Practice, practice, practice. I am sure that, by following these tips, you will improve your confidence in speaking English. Listen to your recording, notice what you can improve, and try again. Thank you for watching Simple English Hub. If you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more English learning content. Drop a comment below and tell us, what is one English word or phrase you love to use? See you in the next lesson, and happy learning!